Alright, here's a 2000 Ford E150 4.2 V6. We're going to change the alternator on this guy. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is, of course, disconnect the battery. Take the negative terminal off, and you're good. Next, air cleaner. Unclip that, wiggle this out. This piece will come out. Take your little air cleaner off too. Alright, put that off to the side. You can close this so it doesn't hit you in the head. Now, top of the alternator, there's a 15 millimeter nut that goes on this stud right here. That holds this bracket here. Okay, there's a bracket that holds this whole harness right in this way right here. Just get it through the top with a little extension. Take the nut off, lift the whole assembly off. Everything wiggles out. All right, there's the bracket right there, you can see. Okay, right there. Wiggle everything out, put it all off to the side, all this wiring. And with the same 15 millimeter, short or long, well, you need long for this one, to take that one off. You need two short ones to take those two off over there. All right, once you get that off, you can loosen up the belt before or after, doesn't matter, because you leave that one bolt on so it doesn't spring on you. All right, so you take the fan belt off, put it off to the side, put your little 15 millimeter socket away, take this last bolt off over here, and the alternator is going to fall out in your hand. Okay, so now what we're going to do is going to flip it upside down. I'm going to disconnect the wires for the plug there, and we're going to find out what size is that positive terminal over there on that alternator. All right, hold on. All right, so clearly this is a 10 millimeter nut right here. Everything seems to be 10 millimeter. That's why everybody loses that socket or that wrench. All right, a little nut with a captive washer. Get that off to the side. Alright, then this wire will come off. Make sure there's no other washers that are attached to it. There is none. Then the little wire right there, the little gray wire. Get a little screwdriver, you lift that little tab up right there. Lift it up out of the way, and this one's going to come out. On the bottom here, on the bottom of this alternator, is another little tab that looks just like that gray one. You're going to lift it up with a little screwdriver. You can flip it the other way, and you'll pull it out. Once it's out, voila, there's your harness. All right, you push it out of the way, and there is the alternator about to come out. It's going to have to come out through this way. This is the only way to do it. Okay, you got this little plastic piece here. Should make it. What I do is I unplug the this AC switch over here. That way I don't break the connector. I'm going to lift it right through here, wiggle it around, whichever way you got to do to come out through this hole. All right. So hang on, I'm going to put you down because I'm going to need two hands for this one. All right. So two hands, you muscle it out between the harness, the AC hose, and the transmission dipstick tube. All right, come out just the way it is. Try to remember the way it comes out, because that's the way you can always slide it back in. All right, so I took the pulley up over this pipe first, turned it around, a little bit more finagling, and it's here. Can you hear it? You can hear like a little rumbling on it. So that noise will be louder with a little belt tension. See that? You can actually hear it squeaking. You can actually see the stains on the side as it starts to rust and the bearing goes bad. And that is it. All right, so we're going to go to AutoZone, see which one we have. They had two choices, whether it's a 130 amp or 95 amp. This one looks like a small one, 95 amp. So I'm gonna go take it there and replace it. All right, so putting it back is the same way. Easy peasy, guys. Stick it back in the hole the same way that you got it. Lay it up just like this. Put your little plug in there, make sure it snaps in. Put this gray wire plug in there, make sure that snaps in. Put your 10mm in there, all right, with the nut. Secure that. If you don't like the little nut that they give you, that foreign piece of junk one, you can always go back with the original one with the little captive washer. All right, once it's in there, and you flip it back around, guys, then it's basically just the 3 bolts going back in. 1, 2, 3. Don't forget this one is the one with the stud, because this is the one that's going to hold the bracket. So you put your 3 back in there, you hook up your belt, then you put your little bracket back on with the little harness, put your AC connector back on. All right, connect your battery. You can put your air cleaner on, otherwise it'll start without the air cleaner. Start it up, check the charging. All right, ciao. All right, folks, so here's the Duralast alternator 7765, the DLG 7765. This is brand new. This is their gold edition, lifetime warranty. Quiet. All right, like I said, I'm gonna wiggle it in there. I'm gonna set it up and put the 3 terminals back on. All right, here we go. 2 hands needed. Hold on. All right, here we go. All right, tighten up your little 10mm there. Put your little boot on. Put the little gray connector here. Snap that in. All right, make sure you hear that click. There's a black connector. Snap that in. And there you go. All right, I need 2 hands for that boot. But I'll show you. This pretty much just goes right over it, covers it, so that it doesn't get grounded. Then we're gonna flip it upside down the other way so we can put the 3 bolts on. All right, hold on. All right, so it's all settled in there. We're gonna put the 3 bolts in there. They go in nice and hand tight. That's even better. All right, screw them in, all 3 of them, as far as you can, so you don't cross any threads. After we do that, we're gonna throw the belt on. All right, so I'm gonna go tighten up these 3 15mm bolts. Hold on. All right, make sure you got your 3 bolts nice and tight. You put your belt on. All right, with a nice little tool, whatever you have. Unless you use a regular 15mm wrench, you can do that too, but it is a little tight little spot. All right, and then what you want to do, since it's dark, just make sure you're on every pulley. Right, make sure every groove is in where it's supposed to be. Okay, there you go, make sure it's all there. And then we'll put the little bracket back on. The other little electronic stuff here. And then we're gonna be good to go to start it. All right, let me put that bracket on. 15mm nut goes right there. All right, hold on. So, getting down to the final. All right, 15mm. Everything's back together with just that bracket. I'm gonna put this AC switch back on. Line it up, snap it right in. Now we're gonna connect our negative cable. And we're gonna start this little guy up. All right, hang on. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start this guy up for that noise that the alternator made. And we're gonna check out charging system. All right, so I already hooked up the meter already. We're gonna go start it. Hang on. Off to the driver's side. I'm gonna leave the air cleaner off for now. Ah, there you go. Quiet as a mouse. Big difference from what it was before, right? Charging system is gonna be okay. Look at that. So I can flip it around for you. There you go. All right. It's a good machine. I like it. Had the original Milton one, the aluminum one, but the metal one, this is like a little cheaper thing, but still works. Right, charging system is good. Noise is gone. Car runs smooth, not like it was trying to stall out before. So now, everything's all connected. Double check your work. Off to put this air cleaner back on, and then we'll be good. All right, let's put the air cleaner on. Pain in the butt when you have to fight with them. All right, it's good. Like I said, 14. It's good to go. Another job well done. All right, very simple, guys. Not too bad. The only thing is that might need a stool if you're not a big guy. All right, that's it. Adios.